What's up, everyone? It's Jason again. Happy New Year. Um, I've been on hiatus on YouTube for past couple of weeks. It's been pretty busy. Season started, and I haven't had much time to work on Rhee60 stuff. So, you know, at the beginning of the year, I took an initiative on social media um, to announce, I guess, some new stuff that I'd be doing for YouTube that I haven't really been doing just because I've been busy. Um, so I guess I'll give an update on those. So this is my first VR Rheeport, and it's a new little segment I'm going to be introducing now that I don't have much time to go out and record. So I'm just going to go through different news and different things in the VR industry. So I guess I'll start with updating on Rhee60. Right now, I've uploaded every single piece of content that I had in the storage. Um, so I'm kind of dry on that right now, but that's why I'm going to try to flush out some more VR reports every week. Hopefully, get them out every Wednesday. Um, and also, I'm in the process of planning something fun. I'm gonna see if I can do like a TV kind of web series, just something different than what I've been doing with 360. So I'm in the process of planning that, working with some of my teammates on trying to figure out what genre, tone, just kind of stuff we want to go for. Um, let's see, next on the list, Resident Evil 7 VR. So Resident Evil came out, shoot, 2 weeks ago. So I was able to play the first hour in VR. I want to crank away the rest of the game in VR, but I think it's fun. The graphics are good. It's probably the best right now on PlayStation VR. It's scary. I'm terrified whenever I play it. You can ask some of my teammates that watched me. It's horrifying to play in VR. It was pretty tricky to play when you get to the action heavy little pieces. When the boss battle, a couple chase sequences, it gets tricky just to turn your head and try to figure out where you're going exactly. But I think I'm in the next couple of weeks when I have time, I'm gonna try to figure out how to play the entire game with VR. Now that I know like where exactly I should be going for each mission. And then I finished the game, just regular, and I loved it. It's something fun, something new that I haven't really played in a while. So now we'll get into the actual VR news. So first on my list, I have Super Bowl 51 VR Suite. So last week, Fox Sports announced that they would be having a virtual reality suite for Super Bowl 50, which would include 20 highlights. Unfortunately, I don't have a Google Cardboard or a Samsung Galaxy Gear VR headset to do that kind of stuff. So I not really sure what the deal was with that in terms of quality. But there's been some online confusion with it. People on Reddit saying that it was available on the Oculus store with the Samsung, but not on the Oculus itself. So I guess they're still waiting to hear back from a representative from Oculus, trying to figure out what was going on there, why they're not hosting that software on its own Oculus hardware. I guess that's something that was weird that I saw in the news. Rock Band VR is coming out for Oculus in March. I don't even know if people are still playing Rock Band, but I guess they have the data to, I guess, prove me wrong that people are still playing Rock Band, and that Rock Band VR is going to be a success. I love Rock Band. I don't have any room for it out here in college. I think I think what Guitar Hero Live did was it added a sense of immersion with the new crowd feature, having them react to you. It kind of made you seem foolish if you made a mistake and they're starting to boo you. That was pretty cool, and I'd love to have that in VR. I think it should be pretty interesting just to see what rock bands like, just because they didn't really emphasize the crowd as much as Guitar Hero Live did. Um, so that should be interesting. I'd love to see VR for Guitar Hero Live. That'd be pretty neat. See Assassin's Creed VR experience. It was announced today that it was a student-led project, a VR project that didn't really make it out to production or publication either. Um, and I mean, I guess it's cool. I guess it's awesome seeing AAA support for different VR experiences, but once you're actually in those experiences and they only last 10, 15 minutes, then it gets kind of old. Um, just throwing the Assassin's Creed brand on it, eh, I mean, it could be cool, but instead of, I mean, just the name of it, the VR experience, rather than like a actual VR game, I'd love to see like a VR game. And Assassin's Creed might be hard just because it's third person, but just like going around, even just exploring some of the ancestry stuff, just that kind of. But I mean, it's good to see that publishers like Ubisoft are having support, even though it didn't come out, for some of their brands. But you know, it's I think it's time to start pushing more funding towards actually creating these bigger AAA experiences, kind of like Resident Evil did. That's why I admire Resident Evil so much, is that it's the step in the right direction for the industry and for gaming itself. We're starting to get better, higher quality with graphics. And part of that is waiting for the SDKs and the actual headsets to get better. Just having that processing power for it. So, it's you hear famous athletes say trust the process, and that's the same thing with the VR industry. And then my last thing on to this week's list is Apple VR/AR predictions. So there's been speculation in the past couple months that the reason why Apple has been silent about VR and AR is because they're going to be creating that killer device. With the iPad, the iPhone, iWatch. They're pretty monumental devices for each industry and market that they're in. So they've waited out past 3 years. They've seen what their competitors are doing, and I really do think that this is the year that they're going to announce something pretty cool for I think AR. I think there's going to be a floodgate of both VR and AR headsets coming out this year, with cameras on the exterior of the headsets to detect spatial awareness of the surroundings. And I think they're going to, if you want my honest prediction for it, it's going to be that they're going to have an AR ready phone, 2 cameras on it for spatial awareness, and then they're gonna come out with a headset alongside, a VR headset that you could plug in just like a Gear VR. It's gonna have both functionalities of a VR and AR headset. I don't know if anyone else has mentioned that in the industry, but I will mark that down now as a Rhee60 staple. So yeah, that's my prediction for this year. We'll see if they'll even announce anything for this year. Companies haven't really seen much revenue with their VR content just yet, and that's just part of finding a way to monetize content. That's just a whole industry solution that needs to be found. And I think there are different aspects of content distribution that are coming out this year that will benefit from that. One of it being Viveport, a subscription service, a Netflix-like service for content on the Vive. But it's also trying to figure out how to stay away from the business model of the App Store that's currently taking place, both on Steam, the Apple App Store, and PlayStation Store is pretty much becoming that, where there's going to be a huge quantity of content, but the quality overall is not as high as it should be. So we'll see how they regulate different quality and different factors for that. But it should be interesting. So there's the report for this week. If you like what you hear, you can follow me on Twitter at Rheejuvenation, Instagram at Rheejuvenation. If you want more of my VR take, you can follow Rhee60 on Instagram. We'll catch